Okay, everybody, and welcome live again to Response Monarch video course. And this is a step-by-step course that we put together to help you understand how export business works, like how to get buyer, sign up a contract, understanding all the major terms. So, although it's been a while that we update you last, being the fact that we've been so busy so far. So today I'm going to be talking about the risk in export business, and as well I'm going to be identifying the solutions. You understand, export business has a lot of risk that you as an exporter need to understand. So I see a lot of people rushing into this thing without keeping all this thing at the back of their mind. You understand, people just want to know about the advantages only. Nobody cares about what it will be happening. Well, it is always good to know the truth, because once you know the risk involved, you will know how to get yourself prepared. Just like the Boy Scouts will say that, okay, be prepared. You understand? So it's always good to get yourself prepared. So when things like this happen, you will know the solution, then what to do to avoid them in your businesses. Really, export business has a lot of advantages. It gives a lot of advantages, a lot of merit to local business owners. You understand? Let's say, for instance, now as an exporter, you are able to get a better price than what you would otherwise get in local government, in local market here. Let's say, for instance, now if a ton of soya beans is like 135,000 naira here, the extent of selling it even multiply by 2 or 3 over there in foreign market. You understand? So it's one of the reason why it's one of the main advantages of export business. Another one is that as an exporter, you are able to sell bigger volumes in foreign market than you would do in local markets. That's just the fact. Even most of the small processing company that we have in Nigeria right now, their major challenges is that they don't know how to sell the big part of their product. You understand? So most of them produce more than what the market demands. But if you can find your way into the foreign market, it gives you access to a lot of markets, to a lot of targets to sell one of your products. And another one is that you always have a constant financial support from government, from financial institutions, that is banks, as well as investors who are ready to put money into what you are doing. This will only happen when you are 100% prepared. You understand? When you follow the normal routine to start an export business. Another one is that export business gives you advantage to earn in foreign currency. That is it. And instead of struggling to make instead you are struggling to make maybe some little profit here. So when you sell in foreign market, you earn in foreign currency, which also double what you are doing on the local market. So all these things, they are the advantages of export business. But as many as this we have these advantages, there are some other little risks that we all need to be aware of. So we will know how to get ourselves prepared against should in case anything like this happen. So in case all these things happen, so I'm going to be taking this risk one after the other, and then we are going to be looking at the solution together. Now, number one here is what I call cargo damage or loss. What this means is that along the line, what if what you are trying to export get damaged or even total loss? You understand? So as an exporter, it is your responsibility to know very well how your goods remain is quality during the transit. You understand? That's where you are trying to afford the damage. You should know its quality, that is how to maintain the quality during the transit, during the freight, in order to get to the buyers at the port of destination. You understand? So it is paramount to choose the correct shipping method and packing. You understand? So if you actually don't know the type of packing, the type of shipping method you need to use, there's any that you are going to be sending something that will be damaged along the line. You understand? For instance, now if you are trying to export yam you should know the type of shipping and packaging that is required to export yam. You understand? And at the same time, if you are also exporting things like vegetables, you should know the type of shipping and packaging all these things will require before you started going to export business. You know, because buyers will always interested in the freshness and the quality of this foodstuff. Like I said, fruit, vegetable is very crucial, you know, for them to be in the highest quality at the port of discharge, you know, even when they get to the buyers. So because this is the only way you can use to keep up your relationship with the buyer, because nobody will be happy paying for a damaged cargo. You understand? So this remind me of a story that a friend told me. He's into a vegetable, you understand? So when he package all this, they are very good, you know, at the country of origin. The guy is from India. So when he package this vegetable, they are looking good and fresh. They still retain the quality. But you know, being a newbie, a beginner, I think it was a very wrong shipping container or something like that. So before the product got to the port of discharge, everything in the container has damaged. You understand? So that is a very great loss to him. It is a very great loss to him. So that in order for you to prevent this, you need to understand this risk, know the packaging as well as the shipping method to use. Another one is what I refer to the cargo loss. Let me be sincere with you. Ships can sink at any time or can be overtaken by pirates. You understand? And even if you are exporting in lightweight, that is in small quantity, there could be what we call airplane crashes. You know, there could be accidents on trains and all these things. So all the goods are gone too. When one or two of these things happening to the product, you can lose everything at a time. You know, this is a very great loss. You understand? So it is your responsibility to know what to do. You know, even though like cargo loss is not that common, actually the cargo loss is not that common, but at the same time it is always good to understand this and know how to prevent this, the cargo loss and cargo damage. Under the cargo loss, the first thing that I'm going to say is that if you are exporting in a very large quantity, it is always good to do marine insurance. So this thing is very, very important. So don't say because it's going to cost you money, you understand, or because you want to save money from the insurance, maybe you want to risk it. That's even the way we call it, just let me risk it. You understand? So do not risk, because if you risk it might not to work. So do not say because you want to save more money on this insurance, then you abandon these things. If this thing happens, it's going to cost you a lot of money than you ever imagine. You understand? So that's the first solution to that. Then another one is that in order to prevent cargo loss, it is always good to work with reliable and responsible shipping line. You understand? So it is always good to work with a reliable and responsible shipping line. What I mean by shipping line is the shipping company. So at times you might prefer people like DHL, FedEx and others. You understand? So all these people, they have been in the business for a long time, and even DHL also offer insurance to cover your goods, your cargo during transit. So although they're going to cost money, but it is always good. And at the same time, under the cargo damage, like I said, always make sure that you know the type of shipping method and the packing required for your products. So that is the only way to avoid the damage of the cargo. Then always make sure that you understand the contracts. You understand something like C and F. Make sure you understand all these things, C and F. Make sure you understand all these things clearly. So this will prevent you, and it will also let you know your responsibility as an exporter. So that's far as cargo loss and damage is concerned. Another one is documentation. You might be asking that how is this a risk? As an exporter, you must know and have all the necessary required documents for your product. It is very very important. It is very very important. In fact, before you sign any contract with anybody, it is recommended that you are on the better side to know what papers you will need. You understand? So before you sign any contract with any buyer, it is only good to know what are the pre-shipment documents and the post shipment documents that I'm going to need for my product. Don't just jump into what you don't know. You understand? You need to learn all these things step by step. Don't say because people are saying you can start tomorrow. You understand? You need to learn it step by step. So you understand? Even the export business is very simple. Once you know all these things and how they work, you will never fall victim or lose money. So under the documentation, the solution is that one, you can work with freight forwarders. You understand? They are trained personnel under export and import documentation. They can help you to get all the required documents. They are going to charge you for doing that. As well, it is very easy. You can learn it on your own. You understand? You can learn how to process all these documents on your own. So the last one that I'm going to be talking about is the one that is very paramount, which is the payment risk in export business. This one is very very paramount and it is common. The first two, they are not really common, like the cargo damage, the cargo loss, as well as the documentation. You understand? They are not that common, but this payment risk, it is very very common. It is very very common, especially if you are newbie, that is newcomer, because everything that most of the newcomer things is that, wow, I need to sell, I want to know buyers, I just have to make a contract, I want to see people buying my products. And if you continue doing this way, you're going to fall victim. You understand? Because there are sometimes that when you even get buyer, when you think this person you are chatting with is a buyer, there are some necessary things that you need to ask him. Even being an exporter, there are some things that he needs to ask you as an importer. So all those things will let you know that, okay, I'm dealing with someone who is genuinely in this line. That is the way we verify buyers. I think that said something of such on this platform before. You can go and be watching those previous videos. I've talked about it. You understand? There are something that you need to do to now to verify them. You understand? So you will know that you are dealing with the right person, because most of these people, they give you some kind of contract that if you are not be a beginner and you are not aware of this, you will fall victim of it. So that is it. And under the payment, a lot of things happen, a lot of sheets, a lot of risk regarding payment. The first one is that foreign buyers refuse to pay on time. Let me use it that way. That's the only way you'll be able to understand. Refuse to pay on time. This is usually happen when you don't know the right payment method to use. You understand? Foreign buyers, when they see you as JJC, they try everything to get the product first before they pay you money. And if things like this happen, the buyer might delay your money. He might refuse to pay you on time. And if you are just coming, maybe you are into all this phenomenal exporting, you understand, you are merchant exporter. What I mean by merchant exporter is someone who buy, maybe process, then export. So here maybe you are in need of money to do the procurement of the product, pay for your supplier and all those things. And then when you don't use the right payment method and the buyers refuse to pay you on time in order to pay the supplier, there is going to be a big problem on that deal. You understand now? So that is one of the risk here. Another one is, what if the buyer does not even pay at all? You know, even if we delay or if it doesn't pay on time, there is a tendency that it's going to pay you later. So what if it didn't pay at all? So if the buyer didn't pay at all, what are you going to do? So this is the biggest ever. The first thing that you can do is you cancel the shipment if it's still on the transit. But if you can't do that, then there are some other way. Solution number one is what I will call export payment insurance. There is a way you insure your payments. The only way you can actually claim your money is to use what I call export payment insurance. So this is also called trade credit insurance. Trade credit insurance. It is always good to work with some of the insurance companies who are providing this type of services. You understand? So should in case something like this happen, like you shipping your goods to someone, the goods has been delivered, you understand, but he refused to pay your money. So if there is any TCI, that is trade credit insurance, on what you are doing as an exporter, the insurance company will pay you 80 to 95% of the total money, while they will now be working on the buyers in order to retrieve the money from him. But there is one certain thing here, is that even if you have this insurance ready, they are not going to pay you everything like I said, and they are going to review the plan of the deal clearly before they step in. You understand? So, but it helps. You understand? This thing helps. So another one is you need to use correct and secure method of payment. Using secure method of payment. Like I always say something here, that if it is a new buyer, maybe someone you are just meeting for the first time, it is always good to ask him to pay in advance. You understand? It's always good to ask him to pay in advance. So with that, you will know that you already get some money. Then make sure that you're using BL scan in order to get the remaining part of your money before you ship the original document. Because if you ship the original document without getting paid, the buyer might not pay you at all. And another one is that make sure you always use what I call LC. You understand? I won't be able to explain LC in full details today, but maybe in my next video I will be able to do that. LC simply means letter of credit, and letter of credit is of different types and purposes. You understand? So you need to know which one will work. We have irrevocable, then we have letter of credit, irrevocable, and all those things. You understand? So but using of letter of credit will reduce the risk of total losing of money to the importers. You understand? So but all I always use here, understand, you know, we have been in this thing so for some time. So what I always use is that for some of the products, 30% advance. You understand? Then the remaining 70%, against BL scan at site. You understand? But there are some buyers that they will not agree with these payment terms. You understand? Always remember that it is your product, so you don't let the buyer decide for you. You get? So if a buyer does not agree with this type of payment method, it's always good to use LC. You understand? No transferable, irrevocable, LC at site. So this is what I always use when I know that a buyer won't go with my option 1. So if you cannot go with these two options, then there is no deal between us. You understand? And we always, in my export monarch course, actually we put in more details on how to reduce the other risk. There are some other risks that I won't be able to be talking about here. You can see this video is running to 20 minutes now, so there are some other dangerous things that I won't be able to mention today. So that is why you need to pick a copy of export monarch, so you will see how all these things work step by step. You understand? And like you know that apart from getting the copy, either hard copy or soft copy, we have a group where we add people to in order to continue the training. So if you want to pick up the call, you actually go to http://emc-2. So that is the URL you need to go. Or now you can send us questions in case you have questions to ask about the product. You can actually get to us on WhatsApp using 0810-664-9536, on email and Telegram 09068515601 is the number to call. You understand? Don't forget that there are some risks in this business, so know how to prevent all this risk is the best bet for you to grow and scale up your export business. This is where I'll be signing off out for today. Thank you and God bless.